Hello, welcome back. Fluffy here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we are doing a video on He-Man. Now, before we get into the video, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed to my channel, liked the videos, commented on the videos, and even everyone that's watched my videos. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I can't wait to grow this channel and the community around it. Now, before we get into testing He-Man, I wanted to read what Polarium released about He-Man's A3, and just reassuring people about what it actually does and how it works. So let's quickly read through this. He-Man and I have the power skill, his A3. There seems to be some confusion within the community regarding the way He-Man's I have the power, his A3, skill works, so let us clarify that. The skill counts each buff that is being placed on He-Man before using the skill, also replacing an existing buff that with the same buffs but with longer durations will add a stack. Finally, the stack counter isn't affected when the buff is removed, replaced, or expires. Now, we'll get into that a bit more in the video as I'm testing. I will explain it a little bit more. But now let's switch over to the actual game capture. Now, let's show you how I have my He-Man built. He's in Instinct, 1-piece stone skin for more HP. Now, you're looking for attack percent and HP percent on your substats in the top row. So I've got crit rate with attack percent and a bit of speed. Crit rate, speed, some attack. I prefer that to be percentage, but you get what you get. Crit rate, crit damage, nice HP percent and a bit of speed. Crit damage gloves with some crit rate and HP percent. Chest plate is attack percent with some crit rate, crit damage and a bit of HP percent. I've purposely not glyphed most of these just because I wanted to keep the stats low. And the boots are speed with some crit rate, nice triple crit damage. Attack ring, and I chose an attack ring because it's got a nice HP percent roll and an attack percent roll, which is nice. Crit damage amulet, and this is a pretty nice banner that'll probably stay on him. You got your attack with triple HP percent and attack percent roll with a bit of speed. His total stats: 43k HP, 4.4 attack, 194 speed, and 252 crit damage. Now, let's jump into some testing. We'll start off in Dragon. I'm not gonna stack a whole bunch of buffs on him. I'm just gonna do this just how I would normally test someone. I'll leave for the buffs, the massive buff stacking, for another video, which I will do that before I fully book him, and I'll keep him in this build as well. Now let's try it in Dragon 23. Let's apply the decrease defense and weaken, so he's got 2 buffs. We'll apply the increase attack, which will give 2 more buffs. Now he's got 4. However, we'll use this one, the A3, next. I just want to do the A2 first. Slow that down, move the camera up so you can see the damage counter. Now we'll do this lure here. 158. That is not bad whatsoever. Let's cycle around to his A3. Now, here. Let me... Because it'll be strengthen. He already has a strengthen. But see, because it's 2 turns, this strengthen won't count towards the buff because it won't replace it because it's already a 2-turn count. And she places it for 2 turns. So if you wanted this strengthen to count, you would wait till it dropped down to a 1 turn. To the strengthen drop down to a 1 turn, then you could apply that, and when it goes from a 1 turn count, it'll replace it with a 2 turn count. That will count towards it. But if I did it now, only the shield counted as a stack. So I hope you understood that. So when, like, next time I do, like, yeah, let's just do the A3 for now. $207 to $315, that is insane. See, let's just say that I did not use his A3. Now that those buffs have dropped off, if I used Lydia's A2 again, and it replenished the increased speed, that would count as a stack, even though it had fallen off or it was only 1 turn duration. If it moves it to the end of the buff line again, then it counts. However, if it stays where it is in the line, then it most likely won't count. So yeah, you can reapply the same buffs and it will count to the stack. 90 and 82,000 on the A1, but let's get the increased attack up first and try that again. Let's test it on Renegade. 151 and 142. My god. He is absolutely insane. See, that time there, the strengthen didn't apply to the stack because it didn't replace it. It just added a shield. So the shield was the only one that counted. Now here, only the increased speed will count to the stack because the strengthen is for a 2 turn. Yeah, the strengthen's only for 2 turns and it's already a 2 turn, so only the increased speed will count to this stack. And let's do this test here. So now, I didn't count the buffs, but yeah. We'll do another test. 300, I think 340 something if I read that correctly. But yeah, that is insane. So yes, each buff that you apply onto him does stack up, including the same buffs from the same champion, or can be from different champions, but they do stack. Let's go into Classic Arena and we'll try and get some teams going. I'll just try on something. Now let's see if we can get some nice wins for you. That counter, 69,000. Now I will do the A3 right here. Let's smack this down. 148, 170 something. I did not see what hit on the Bustophus, but I'm hoping you did. Wow. That is Oh, I've got to try this team. I've got to try this team. I will probably lose because I haven't set up for this team properly, but yes, because I would take Sifi out because of the fear that Taurus places. Nope. I'm just hoping I can get to, no. I was just hoping I was going to be able to land one hit on the Marichka just to see what it would do. I'm probably going to get outspread from that team. If we can find a team without UDK, that team would be too weak. No offense, Lord Lager. This seems like a pretty tanky team. We'll give this one a shot. So this is a normal team I would use in offensive arena. I'm not changing it around to stack on buffs. And we have 5 buffs. You could even replace Arbiter for someone like Mikage. Get some crit damage in there as well. And then you just open up with his A2 to get the increased attack. But I do want to open with the A2 anyway because I want to see what it does to Duchess. Slow this down. Move the camera up. And let's see if she takes a seat. 100,000 in the arena. That is insane. Put this back to ×2. Get that back around. Lock him out because I don't want him decreasing turn meter. And I'll sleep him. Now that they've got increased defense up, but actually before I do the A3, I just want to see what the A1 does to someone that has increased defense, even though we've still got decreased defense and weaken. 52, still enough to absolutely make him sit. That is, wow. Let's reapply an increased attack. And go for a smack. 258 on the Karma. Pleased to say that this isn't a weak account, so let's have a look here. I want to see what it does to the miscreated monster, because if built properly, miscreated can take a hit. I'm just hoping that Rhodos doesn't go absolutely nuts. Now here, I will do it as if I was setting the AI up for speed farming. So you do the A2 from Sifi, the A3 from Arbiter, A2 from Lydia, then straight into the big AoE. Although it wouldn't be complete wipe because of Rhodos' passive, but we should be able to wipe out those 3. Let's see. Yes, I think there was 180 something, 170 odd, 200 and something. You would have seen the numbers. Now this Rhodos took that like a champion. It wasn't down to half, so I'm not sure if he healed himself a bit, but yeah, he took that like a champ, and we'll put him out of his misery with an A2. 35,000. That is insane. I think that's enough arena demonstration. Let me take you into Hydra and show you roughly what it can do. This isn't what I'd normally use, but I've got Duchess in there for the perfect veil. Solus is in there for the provoke. My main Wukong, he does deal damage, but he's got enough accuracy for normal. Mithrala for the hex and the cleanse, and Herndig is built for damage, but he's in there for his decreased defense on his A2. And obviously He-Man's in there. Start off with the hex. Hit the boss. Now I will leave his A3 for a little bit. I won't count any of the buffs, but I will just give you a little sneak peek. That was 156. I will give you a little sneak peek of what he is capable of. We'll get the provoke out by Solus, block buffs by Wukong, so they can't do shit. Now, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time in here. I just want to make most of these buffs drop off and drop down to 1 turn duration, so then I can reapply them, and once I've reapplied them all, that would be 2 sets of buffs, so it'll be about 10 to 12 buffs. I will then unleash his A3. That's 100,000 on the A1. That is absolutely insane. Just give you a little show of what Wukong can do. 289,000. We'll use that as a comparison. Even though he'll do more damage overall, we'll see if He-Man can do that same damage per hit. That's what I want to test. Can He-Man do the same amount of damage as Wukong's A2 per hit on his A3? But we'll hold off just a little bit longer. That was 139 on the A1. So if you hold off on using his A3 in Hydra, it will mean you'll have to manual it, but if you hold off on the A3 in his Hydra, his A2 and A1 still will do more than enough damage to get those numbers up. So now we're almost ready to unleash his A3. 184 on the A1, and there was no decreased defense or weaken. We'll reapply. We'll use the we'll use the A3 on Mithrala. That way it places 2 more. Yep. Now we're at about 11 buffs stacked on He-Man. We'll place a decreased defense on everyone. Now we'll place the block buffs just because that's probably around 12 to 13 buffs now. Now, everyone has decreased defense. Yes. Now let's do the A3. Watch for the numbers carefully, because I won't be able to see all of them. Watch what it does to, like, Wrath, then skim over to what it does to the Deadhead. I'm definitely going to watch this back. 400... I didn't see what it did to the Deadhead, but I saw 426, I think. 426,000. Keep in mind his stats. That was only about 12 buffs stacked up, and he hit 400. Holy crap. Now let's just end. That was less than 4 minutes of damage. I did not hold back on my Wukong's damage. I used him like I normally use him, and he can usually pull big damage. He-Man did 2.1. That was only used his A3 once. That was just his A2 and A1. Other than that, that is insane. No, I do not want to keep that result. That is insane. And let me just do a little test. Even though you wouldn't actually do it. Go Spirit. I just want to show something. I didn't actually get around to testing this last night, but I want to see something. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to get the buffs to about 10, so 2 rounds. Just like we did in the Hydra. $313 on the A2, that is nice. I wouldn't use him in Clan Boss, I just wanted to see what it would do. The whole curiosity. You know what I'm talking about. Now this will only take a minute or two once Duchess gets back around to her A2. Now there's another 2. Once we get back around to Duchess, that'll apply the buff 8, 9, and 10. Now we'll hold off for just a second because we don't have the weaken up. I want to reapply Lydia's decreased defense and weaken, which will mean we'll have 12 buffs stacked. Yeah, we'll have 12 buffs stacked. Still got the decreased defense and weaken, and let's unleash with the A3. 656,000, that is insane. Now I'm not going to waste a key, so I'm just going to open that back up. So yeah, He-Man is very, very usable mid-game. If you can get to these stats mid-game, you might have to use some of your best gear, but if you can get to these stats mid-game, that is insane. Now, keep in mind his A3 isn't booked, so he won't have that cooldown. But I just want to show you a little comparison. Just to the type of damage he can do and how quickly he can do 12-6 Nightmare. Now, it'll be quicker if you didn't have, like, the other champions in there, but when are you going to run campaign without the champions? So, 23 seconds. That is insane. That is insane. Let's run it one more time. He is insane. This is probably what it's like for people that have Thor. It just rips through everyone. Just absolutely smashes. And just to compare my normal, I use War Master to farm 12-3, or 12-6, sorry. So this is the normal run that I usually do. And he does it he is my best and quickest campaign farmer. Even though his A2 is enemy max HP, it still hits pretty hard. So 29. So if I get the cooldown on the A3, then He-Man will become the campaign farmer. Let's just test something. I'll run 2 each without any champions just to see how quick he actually can get it. Because I'm curious myself. I can't remember who got the 15-second time. It'll be about the 25, 26, 27, yeah. We'll actually just do it once each, because if anyone's still watching at this point, they probably don't care about this comparison. So let's just quickly run this in. Completely gone. He should have the... Yeah, and then he'll have the A3. He just made a new best time. That's insane. That is insane. Oh, I am pleasantly pleased. Do not, unless you're splurging and you don't give a crap, do not buy any Primal Shard packs this weekend. If you haven't already, they are trash. For me, Australian dollars, they're $5 a shot. Now this may seem good, but it's not. 4 for $15 is good, but these other 3 are probably just expensive enough that this equals out. So yeah, do not buy any Primal Shard packs this weekend. They are all terrible deals. And the fact that you can pull rares on the primals, the only reason they can justify making the shards the price they are is because you have mythicals in them. But honestly, I think they should take the possibility of pulling rares out of the primal shard. If they're going to make it cost as much as they do, take rares out. Because only top-end Krakens buy shards that crap now. The chance of a mythical is always good. And I have pulled a mythical outside of the fusion. I got a duplicate Mikage. That was from a single primal shard that I got from the login, or it was from Lava Arena. But that was after this whole time, after all the free ones you get, the ones from Lava Arena, all that. I did not get anything. I only got rares. The only legendary I pulled out of Primal was Mountain King. All rares are Mountain King and the duplicate Mikage. I have not pulled a single epic out of a Primal Shard. I shit you not. But anyway, just to end the video, He-Man, in what I would consider a mid-game build, can absolutely get the job done. And just to keep in mind, his A3 is only got 1 book in it. So you add an extra 10% damage with the cooldown. And I'm eager to test the stacks up to 500. I want to stack this all the way up to 500. With this build. I'm going to do it with this build. I'm going to stack this bitch all the way up to 500. And I want to see if I can do an old Trunder nuke all the Hydra heads. I am going to try that. Because Hydra's where you're going to make full use of this. Because as you saw, the A1 and the A2 can still do more than enough damage that he will still ramp up that damage while you're waiting for the buffs to fall, reapply to get that stacked up. Now it's 10% for each buff, so yeah, you just need to cycle the buffs so you get 50 and then just absolutely melt whoever is standing in front of you. Again, these deals are all crap. $5 Australian a shot. You can do the math. I think this one's only valued at like $80. Convert that into whatever currency is yours. But yeah, they're all crap. And there's no way 500k silver is worth $30. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!